By the side of a clear and sparkling river, there once lived a pair of cranes. They had built a cozy nest high in a tall tree, a safe, peaceful place to start their family. One bright morning, the female crane laid 3 beautiful eggs for the first time. The couple was filled with joy and excitement, eagerly dreaming of the day when their chicks would hatch. Every day, the 2 cranes took turns caring for the eggs with love and patience. But little did they know that their happiness would soon be tested by tragedy. The first loss: one sunny morning, the cranes left their nest to catch fish by the river. They returned soon after, satisfied and cheerful. But when they reached their nest, their joy turned to shock. The eggs were gone. They searched everywhere, but there was no trace of the eggs or the thief. Their hearts broke as they realized their precious chicks were lost forever. After mourning their loss, the cranes decided to build a new nest in a different tree, far from the first one, hoping to protect their next eggs. The snake appears. Time passed, and once again, the female crane laid her eggs. This time they were determined to be careful. The male crane went to find food while the female stayed behind to guard the nest. But one morning, when the male crane returned, he found his mate crying helplessly. The eggs were gone again. Through her tears, the female crane explained what had happened. A snake had crawled up the tree and swallowed the eggs. When she tried to fight it, the snake hissed and struck at her, forcing her to retreat. She could only watch as it devoured their eggs one by one. The male crane was filled with anger and despair. He couldn't bear to lose their family again. The crab's plan desperate. The crane went to his wise friend, the crab, and told him everything. The crab listened quietly and said, "Don't worry, my friend. We'll think of something together." After some time, the crab whispered a plan into the crane's ear. The crane's eyes brightened. At last, there was hope. He hurried home to tell his mate, who was anxious and doubtful. "Are you sure this will work?" she asked. "We can't afford another mistake," the male crane replied. "We must try. It's our only chance." The clever trap. When the female crane laid new eggs, they decided to follow the crab's plan. The next morning, the male crane caught some small fish and placed them in a trail, leading from the mongoose's burrow all the way to their tree. The smell of fish would attract the mongoose. Then he flew to the snake's den and called out loudly, "We've laid eggs again. Come and take them if you dare." He knew it was risky, but he hoped to lure the snake into a trap before it found the nest itself. The mongoose soon smelled the fish and followed the trail right up to the tree. At that very moment, the snake appeared, slithering toward the nest. Seeing the snake, the mongoose assumed it was a threat and attacked fiercely. The 2 predators fought violently, hissing, biting, and clawing. After a long and furious battle, the mongoose killed the snake. From the nest above, the cranes watched in relief. Their longtime enemy was gone. An unintended consequence: the next day, the cranes left to catch fish, finally feeling safe. But when they returned, their joy vanished once more. They saw the mongoose climbing down from their tree. Panicking, they flew up to their nest and found it empty. The mongoose had eaten all their eggs. The cranes stood silently, realizing their mistake. In trying to destroy one enemy, they had brought in another, one even worse. The moral, friends: this story of the cranes teaches an important lesson. When we act without thinking about consequences, we often make things worse. Sometimes in life we rush to solve a problem quickly. We take shortcuts, borrow money we can't repay, or trust the wrong people, only to create even bigger problems later. So before acting, pause and think. Ask yourself, will this decision solve the problem or make it worse? A calm and thoughtful mind always leads to the right path. Remember, think before you act, because wisdom often lies in patience.